Recording. Recording in progress. All right. Well, guys, thank you for being here today. Again, don't want to take up too much of your time, but just want to introduce y'all as the 2012 age group coaches, assistant coaches, whatever it may be, going into this 2024-2025 competitive soccer season. I'll introduce myself to everyone. I'm the director of coaching, David McAllister. I also will be coaching the 2010 and 2011 ECNL teams. With this age group moving officially to 11v11, I'm excited about the players that I know are in the club, coming from East Memphis, Collierville, DeSoto, whatever it may be, to really form this first year of full-blown ECNL into a success. I have Riccardo Sbabo here. If you want to give a little wave, he's going to be taking our 2012 ECNL team. We also have, we'll just call him Coach AG. I don't want to butcher the name. He will be taking our 2012 ECNL RL team. And then we have Coach Dave Brown, who will be coaching a 2012 team, possibly in East Memphis, maybe assisting with Coach AG. We are figuring that out as we go, depending on the numbers. I'm excited about all three of these coaches, knowing how committed they are to coaching, not just the game of soccer, but these young men and young women in some respects, to being better people overall. And I really feel that we developed a player individually to become good, upstanding citizens. The good soccer players will come from that. So without further ado, we'll go through it. We'll start with you, Coach Riccardo. Just give me a little bit about your coaching background, your coaching philosophy.
Sure.
But Riccardo, 2012 ECNL coach, go ahead.
Thanks, David. So again, yes, Riccardo Sbabo. I'll be taking on the ECNL 2012 team. Been coaching just under 10 years now, so just under a decade. Had experience with various clubs in California. And then when I moved to Memphis, joined Legends initially, and then for the past 4 years, so this will be my 4th season coming into with Lobos. I also coach at the high school level with Christian Brothers High School. So I've been doing that for 4 years as well. So that's kind of given me a good level of experience in terms of older boys, and then obviously with on the club side with the younger teams. I'm currently on the 2011 E64 team, which I'll be leaving this coming season. So, I've had great experience coaching, been playing soccer my entire life. I've been lucky to play it in Europe, in Germany, and then in Italy where I grew up. So, been around the game since pretty much the day I was born, since my dad was, a player himself, and my grandfather, the same thing. So it kind of runs in the family. In terms of coaching philosophy, I think it goes just around player development, developing players both tactically and technically. I think for me, figuring out what makes each player tick is important in terms of the individualized approach. So understanding what motivates a certain player, I think that's something that I strive for whenever I take on a team. Also having some tactical flexibility. So understanding that, having a set style of play is important, and having a game idea, for example, when we go into games, but sort of harnessing different tactical aspects, throughout various games, depending on the opponent. I think it's important to have that level of flexibility when going into it. And then, as I mentioned, individualized approach. And also important for me is team culture. I think developing a good team culture, both on and off the field, is extremely valuable. I love to get the boys together, for example, outside of training, just so that we can develop that cohesiveness that kind of brings us together, so that when times are good, we're together. When times are bad, we're together. And I think that's important to develop that bond between the players and the coaches, and also the parents. I think that's important to engage with the parents as much as possible. So those are kind of the main 3 things for me. Just individualized player development, both tactically and technically holistic approach, and then tactical flexibility and team culture. So those are kind of the things that I like to perpetuate with my teams. So
Yeah, excellent. We at Rush and Lobos Rush, we emphasis on that player development, and then that just leads into team development. And if we're in the process of, uh, you know, developing good young men or women, I think the soccer part will take care of itself. And then that goes to the team culture. We see it so many times of, I mean, best man at my wedding, I played soccer with, 3 of my 5 groomsmen I played soccer with, and still have those friendships and those relationships 25, 30 years down the road. And that, I would say, having all of us played, some of us younger than older, we miss that friendship and camaraderie with our teams. I know I do. And I'm much older than probably all of y'all. So thank you, Riccardo, for that little insight of who you are and your philosophy. And again, I'm excited to have you on with the 2012 ECNL team. We'll move
thank
on
you.
to Coach AG, who came from Nashville by way of, I can't even remember, but please introduce yourself, your coaching philosophy, and your background and everything. Go ahead.
I'm Coach AG. My full name is Atakelti. I like Dave said, I come from Nashville. I played club soccer at TUSC and played high school at Station Camp High School. Got to play a little bit of Division I soccer. Ended up cutting it short due to an injury. I've been coaching a little under 4 years now. I started out with Ole, and I think I coached there for 1 year as an assistant, and then moved on to Lobos. I actually currently coach the 2012 white for boys and girls. Let's see. Coaching philosophy. Like Riccardo said, obviously, my approach to this age specific group is, to make sure that they're technically sound. That's been a heavy focus on me, just technically and fundamentally sound. I haven't really touched on the tactical side of it just because I didn't believe that they were quite ready technically and fundamentally. So we focus a lot on the technical side of it and fundamental side of it so that we can get them ready for when they get to the 13 and 14 and 15. But it's like Dave said, or like Carter said, you do have to touch base on the tactical side of it and the holistic approach of it. I'm excited for this year. I'm going to have both the 2012 girls and boys for next year, and but yeah, I think that's all I have.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you, AG. I love the excitement and the passion you put into coaching. You're young, probably half my age, so you have that. You're fresh out of the game, so to speak. You were such a big part of it. If I'm correct, you were Gatorade Player of the Year for state of Tennessee years ago, correct? All right,
I
hey,
was.
it's an accolade. It's something to be proud of. And as for all of us, I'm sure injuries cut our careers short. Maybe it's just my playing ability. But thank you so much, AG. Having come over to the club this year, I think you've done a great job with the 2012 white teams for boys and girls. The sessions are well ran. It seems like the boys and the girls are having fun, and you're kind of imparting your love for the game on them, which it gave so much to us, and you're just kind of putting that back onto them as well, where they're loving the game and developing and learning. So thank you, AG. Last but not least, we have Mr. Dave Brown here. So I apologize if he talks a little funny for some of y'all, but we'll work through it. As he said, you can take the boy out of Wales, but you can take the Welsh out of the boy. So without any further ado, Mr. Dave Brown, please give us a little introduction and your philosophy as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave Brown. I'm on the 2012 boys goal team. And so I've been coaching coming up to my 4th year now. I'm originally from Wales in the UK. If you asked where Wales is, Rob Manelli and Ryan Reynolds have done a good job promoting it with Wrexham. So that kind of helps me to kind of describe where Wales is now. But asked me that a few years ago, no one really knows. But I originally played soccer out in UK, in Wales, men's football. and then came to California, went to junior college, transferred to a Division II, which is no longer, has a program in Oklahoma, and then transferred to Oklahoma City, Southwestern Christian in NAIA. So I've been coaching for now, I said 4 years, coached in Oklahoma from competitive and rec academy as well. And my philosophy around coaching kind of differs where I am, because I'm currently at Christian Brothers University, assistant coach there. So philosophy for that is a bit different to my coaching philosophy. So for my coaching philosophy, I look at it as I want my players to make mistakes, because the mistakes are going to be the lessons that they're going to learn, and on the field and off the field. So if they can make the mistake in practice, they know for the game, okay, if I make this, I can make the mistake from practice. I can't really do it in the games, but if I do make the mistakes, it's positive reinforcement. So I think that's the essential for development. So that's kind of the way I look at it now for my coaching philosophy, is to make the mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, and that goes to the individual, it really does, because it's such a, small scale. Those individuals are going to make those mistakes. And I think in this day and age with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or whatever the kids are watching, they see all these successes and these brilliant moments from the Messis, the Ronaldos, the De Bruynes, and so on and so forth. They don't see those mistakes those players make in the training, in the games. Because when was the last time some of these kids watched a full game to see, Mbappe is not perfect. Holland is not perfect. And I love that philosophy. They're going to make mistakes. And if they learn from it, then is it really a mistake? Are you learning from your losses? Are you learning from your mistakes? So I love that philosophy as well, Dave. So I'm glad you said that. And I think that should be a point of emphasis for coaches these days. You want them to fail. You want them to make mistakes, because they're going to learn from it, you hope. But other than that, thank you.
Touch based on the thing, I think one of the biggest things I noticed with my 2012 kids was that they were afraid to make mistakes. They were almost too concerned to make mistakes. And one of the things that I emphasize a lot on is you can make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen, but how you respond to the mistakes really what matters. How can you figure out, or how can you correct your mistakes little by little? Those are the steps you need. Those are the steps you should look forward to, instead of just being afraid to make a mistake all the time and end up making a mistake.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And in y'all's sessions, I haven't seen too much of yours, Dave. I apologize, but I know with AG and Riccardo, you're setting those kids up to get the best out of them by, making those mistakes and forcing things on them and putting them in situations to where they'll get better. We want it to be difficult, because if it wasn't difficult, everybody'd be doing it. So again, I appreciate you guys jumping on here. Don't want to take too much of your time again. So thank you for the feedback, the introduction to each of you. And I look forward to the upcoming season and seasons with this age group, knowing that it's going to grow and grow and grow. And now we can get, more 11v11 stuff and see where these boys go in the future. Again, I appreciate you guys being on here, and I will see you at the fields very soon. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yes.
Bye.